Hello dear students, welcome back. I know you must be waiting for the third session. So before that, let me remind you that you have to take good care of yourself, follow the instructions like washing hands, wearing mask when you're going out, and the first thing is you don't even have to go out. Take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe. So, moving forward with the chapter 1, the French Revolution, session 3, that is question answer session that I had told you in the last session. Question and answers. The first question is, describe the circumstances leading to the outbreak of revolutionary protest in France. The following circumstances lead to the outbreak of revolutionary protest in France. First is, Louis XVI was an autocratic ruler who could not compromise with the luxurious life. He also lacked farsightedness. When he ascended the throne, the royal treasury was empty. Long years of war had drained the financial resources of France. Added to this was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at the immense place of Versailles. Under Louis XVI, France helped the American colonies 13 American colonies to gain their independence from Britain. The war added more than a billion livres to a debt credit. Now began to charge 10% interest on loans. So the French government was obliged to spend an increasing percentage of its budget on the interest payments alone. The state finally increased tax to meet its regular expenses. So, has the cost of maintaining an army, running government offices and universities. The French society was divided into three estates, but only members of the first two estates, that is the clergy and the nobles, were exempted to pay taxes. They belonged to the privileged class. Thus, the burden of financing activities of the state through taxes was borne by the third estate only. The middle class that emerged in the 18th century France was educated and enlightened. They refuted the theory of divine rights of the kings and absolute monarchy. They believed that a person's social position must depend upon its right. They had access to the various ideas of equality and freedom proposed by philosophers like John Locke, Jacques, Rousseau, Montesquieu, etc. Their ideas got popularized among the common mass as a result of intensive discussions and debates in saloons and coffee houses and through books and newspapers. The French administration was extremely corrupt. It did not give weightage to the French common man. The state finally increased tax to meet its regular expense such as the cost of maintaining an army, running government, offices and universities. Second question. Which group of French society benefited from the revolution? Which groups were forced to relish powers? Which sections of society could have been disappointed without the outcome of the revolution? The wealthy class of the third estate, which came to know as the middle class of France, benefited the most from the revolution. This group compromised on big businessmen, petty officers, lawyers, teachers, doctors, and traders. Previously, these people had to pay taxes, state taxes, and did not enjoy equal status. But after the revolution, they began to be treated equally with the upper section of the society. With the abolition of feudal system of obligating obligation and taxes, the clergy and the nobility came on the same level with the middle class. They were forced to give up their privileges. Their executive powers were also taken away from them. The poorer section of the society, that is small peasants, landless laborers, servants, daily wage earners would have been disappointed with the outcome of the revolution. Women also would have been highly discontented. Third question. Describe the legacy of the French Revolution for the people of the world during the 19th and the 20th century. The French Revolution proved to be the most important event in the history of the world. The ideas of liberty and democratic rights were the most important legacy of the French Revolution. These ideas became the uprising force of the political movements in the world in 19th and 20th century. The ideas of liberty, equality and fraternity spread from France to the rest of Europe, where feudal system was finally abolished. Colonized people reworked on the idea of freedom from bondage into their movements to create a sovereign nation state. The idea of nationalism that emerged after the French Revolution started becoming mass movement all over the world. Now people began to question the absolute power. The impact of the French Revolution would be seen in India too. Tipu Sultan and Rajaram Mohan Rai got deeply influenced by the idea of revolution. In the end, we can say that after the French Revolution, people all over the world became aware of their rights. Fourth question. Draw up a list of democratic rights we enjoy today whose origin could be traced on the France Revolution. Some of the democratic rights which we enjoy today can be traced to the French Revolution are as follows. Right to equality, including equality before the law, the prohibition of discrimination and equality of opportunity in matter of employment. Right to freedom of speech and expression, including the right to participate any profession or occupation. Right against exploitation. Right to life. Right to vote. Question 5. Would you agree with the view that the message of the universal rights was beset with contradictions? Explain. The message of universal rights was definitely beset with the contradictions. Many ideals of the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen were not at all clear. They had dubious meanings. The French Revolution could not bring economic equality, and it is the fact that unless there is economic equality, real equality cannot be revised at any spare. The Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen laid stress on equality, but large section of the society was denied to the right to vote and elect their representatives. Did not solve the poor man's problem. Women were still regarded as passive passive citizens. They did not have any political rights such as right to vote and hold political offices like men. Hence the struggle for equal political rights continued. France continued to hold and expand colonies. Thus, its image as a liberator could not last for a long time. Slavery existed in France until the first half of the 19th century. Question 6. How would you explain the rise of Napoleon? The political instability of the territory paved the way for the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon had achieved glorious victories in the war. This made France realize that only a military dictator like Napoleon would restore a stable government. In 1804, he crowned himself the Emperor of France. He set out to conquer neighboring European countries, disposing dynasty and creating kingdoms where he placed members of his family. Napoleon viewed himself as a modernizer of Europe. He introduced many laws such as the protection of private property and a uniform system of weight and measure provided by the decimal system. But But his rise to power did not last for a long time. He was finally defeated at Waterloo in 1815. This is where we end the question and answer session. Do write all these question answers in your history notebook. You have to make 4 notebooks, that is for history, civics, geography and economics, and write down the question answers in the respective notebooks so that you can refer for your learning. So take care and see you in the next session.